Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Sure is amazing how fast life can change. 2.5 weeks ago, I was planning a trip over to South Dakota, and we were going to pick up our semi-truck that I've been working on for a couple years at this point, and drive that back over to Idaho here to start working on summer projects and get some of our stuff out here that's still in storage over in South Dakota. Well, I had the bright idea to use bus service for the trip because I could pack a whole bunch of tools for the trip back home with the semi-truck that I wouldn't have to buy again, like impact, some electrical tools, sockets and stuff for the Bud style tires, and all sorts of stuff that is just be way cheaper to bring along in a bus instead of having to buy again. So I hopped on a bus and took what was supposed to be 28-hour bus journey from North Idaho all the way over to eastern South Dakota. And unfortunately, I only made it about 26 hours of that trip. It was a late season snowstorm in South Dakota, and I don't want to get into too much because there's still legal things going on with it, but bus lost control, ended up in the ditch, rolling over. And part of that rollover, another passenger landed on my arm and broke it. So what happened is, just right above my elbow on my humerus, that bone got shattered into, the humerus got shattered into like 6 or 7 pieces right at the base of the bone, and then I had a radial fracture going up a large portion of my arm. And I had bruising around my heart, chest, my ribs still ache from it, but yeah, about a 2-hour trip to the hospital because we were in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. Got to the ER, started getting patched up. Spent a night in the ICU because of the swelling and bruising around my heart. Thankfully, that all turned out to be something I recovered from pretty quickly. But the broken arm, on the other hand, was a very serious break. The local hospital where we went to, it was actually regional, but they had an orthopedic surgeon there, and he said he hadn't done one of these repairs in over 2 years, and recommended that I go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is the biggest, I think it's the biggest town yet in South Dakota. They have a really good hospital service there. So with my arm still mangled and broken, I took a almost 4-hour ambulance trip over to Sioux Falls. It wasn't the greatest experience in the world. And then they got me patched up. I have a plate from the tip of my elbow all the way up to almost the top of my arm. A whole bunch of screws, and it's all holding it back together. But unfortunately, there's a nerve, the radial nerve, that runs right along that bone, the humerus bone, and it controls the extension of your hand and your wrist, some other movements, and then feeling on the top of your hand and your thumb. Well, that was, they said, stretched and damaged, so I will not have control over a lot of my left hand for at least 6 months, up to a year. So right now, I can curl my fingers and close it, but I can barely open my fingers. And I have this brace on here because my wrist would just hang like this. So needless to say, it's going to be a very rough year out here as far as getting anything done progress-wise. And we're actually going into the big city that's about 2 hours away from us today, get the splint off, get x-rayed, and then start the long road to recovery. So yeah, it's wasn't what I had planned, of course, but we'll make the best of it. Thankfully, with all the work we did last year, I don't have a whole lot of pressing projects or needs that have to get done. Emily is planning a wonderful, very large garden this year, and we were planning to get a pump set up in our creek to pump water up the hill. That might not happen, but we can still always bring totes down and fill it up like we did last year. Thankfully, the backhoe is fairly easy to run one-handed, except for the actual backhoe part. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge. probably won't be making the progress we wanted to. Like the dozer project, that'll be my therapy project, I guess. I can't do anything yet. I'll have, I think, a 2-pound weight limit on this hand and arm for like 6 to 8 weeks, or maybe even longer, till the bone heals. And then it's just a whole lot of physical therapy. So I'll have dozer therapy too. So we still have to pull that apart and work on it. I had basically just gotten everything wrapped up, cleaned up in the yard here in preparation for my trip. We had just pulled the dozer into the shop, got it up on some blocks and all that. So yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna be a kind of a slow summer. I definitely will bring you guys along for it. It'll be a little bit more interesting than I expected. I'll have to figure out how to do stuff one-handed, or we'll do a lot with Emily too. It's a great excuse to try to get her outside here more. Right now she's still trying to catch up on her projects that were left when she came to visit me in Sioux Falls and drive me back. But yeah, it's gonna be a different summer. Hopefully we'll still make it enjoyable for you guys, and yeah, get some projects done yet. With this injury too, I think my elbow is probably going to be a pretty tough recovery also, because of how close the bone break was to the elbow. Like, it was very close to breaking off the tip of my humerus bone. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge to get that all moving again, and even getting my arm above my head and all sorts of stuff like that, let alone getting the hand to work the way it's supposed to. So yeah, we'll get it done. This year we'll definitely be doing things the even harder way. But like I said before, I think we're in a pretty good position here. We have the bus, it's home, it's pretty self-sufficient. We have shore power when we're running AC this summer, so we don't have to worry about generators and all that. Pouring gas into a generator would be pretty hard at this point too. But yeah, we're gonna be able to make it. I'm glad that we did all that progress last year. So, well, that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. Like I said, hopefully we get some good news when we start getting some physical therapy going, and hopefully I regain function fast and can get back to doing stuff that we love doing. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.